Welcome to Claro Enterprise Solutions Cafecito Podcast, a new podcast series from Claro Enterprise Solutions, where we take a short break to have a nice cup of coffee, or cafecito as we say in Spanish, and just 10 minutes out of your busy schedules to explore all things of interest to channel partners, master agents, and technology providers. I am your host, Eduardo Cano, Director of Business Intelligence at Claro Enterprise Solutions and member of the marketing team, and we work closely with our channels team. And I'm originally from Colombia, so I know a thing or two about coffee, but more importantly about coffee culture, to have the opportunity to sit down, have a nice conversation, in this case, about technology. My guest today is Ariel Cruz, Vice President of Channels at Claro Enterprise Solutions. If you're watching and listening, and you are part of the channels industry, you probably know Ariel already. But nonetheless, I'll ask him to introduce himself. Ariel, my friend, please, by all means.
All right. Thank you so much, Edu. Thanks for having me here. I really love the intro, and congrats to the marketing team for putting all this together. I think it's gonna be a hit, man. So I'm honored to be the first one on the first round. So thanks a lot for having me today.
My pleasure, and it's a pleasure to have you guys, have you as our key invitee, our key speaker today to kick off this new series. Now, to kick off the series, as I said, today we're going to talk about how the channels marketplace has changed over the past year or so, and what we need to do to adapt, evolve, and respond to these new conditions. One key factor has been the pandemic. Obviously, it has impacted all of our lives in fundamental ways. Ariel, what has the pandemic meant for the channels industry, and more specifically, for the channel partners' strategies around business growth?
That's a great question, Edu. So let me start with something positive. And the positive is that the channel is on fire. Channel partners, they have adapted really well in this transition from in-person business to virtual. But let's talk a little bit about the challenges. Mm-hmm. So before the pandemic, that of course impacted all human beings, the channel has always been a relationship business and a business that depends on trust that you build with the channel partner. From our side to the channel partner, and the channel partner to the customer. So it's a community based on trust.
Right.
But imagine all of a sudden the pandemic hits, and that relationship business, that in-person that we used to have, those events, networking events, the handshaking that is so important in this business, it's completely stopped by the pandemic. And then you see yourself transitioning into this virtual world that, thanks God, it has worked really well, and we adapted. And then at the same time, the channel partner was in the position where they needed to educate themselves in the new technology, including the virtual ones, and an acceleration in facing digital transformation. So that is more or less what they're seeing today. And again, they've done a great job adapting to the new circumstances.
That is great to hear. That is great to hear. Now, so in a sense, channel partners are facing a double whammy with regards perhaps on these new challenges of not having that one-on-one FaceTime with clients and partners, but also the shrinkage of margins and race to zero and that kind of commodity of technology services, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Excellent. What are we doing about it? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I was because at the end of the day, yeah, we talk about the challenges, but it's good to know what are channel partners doing today, and what is our recommendation to do once you are in this situation. So something that happened that is part of the challenges that I was mentioning is that before most channel partners, they were selling traditional telecommunication services, but those services, the price are decreasing with the years, and then you see that the customer base that you have is decreasing in margins. So every time that you renew one of your customers, then you renew it for less money. So I don't want to call it a race to zero, but you see your money decreasing constantly every year because of what you're selling. So what is our recommendation to do? And we have very close conversation, thanks God that we have that relationship with our partners. Mm-hmm. And then I was telling one of my partners the other day, listen, before you were talking about telecommunication circuits, Do I increase bandwidth here? Are you going to open a new location? Today is more a business conversation, and bringing those new technologies and new products to the plate so you can improve their productivity, effectiveness, reduce cost, and talk about ROIs that is so important for CFO today. So the conversation is different, and that will give the channel partners these new technologies the opportunity to grow the base with something new that is really important for their customers.
Fantastic. And I imagine that some of the introduction of those new digital technologies are along the lines of IoT solutions like fuel management, fleet management, correct? Can you share a little bit of insight on that, please?
The IoT is playing a key role for channel partners today. And of course, there's an educational piece that is happening right now. And I want everybody to know that we're here to help. So they could call us anytime, and we have training sessions. We have we have our channel managers ready to do a session with any partner. And yes, when you talk about fleet management, when you talk about the fuel monitoring, and now this one recently that we have the equipment asset control. So what it does is that it's a different dimension for you to get to the business owner and say, hey, Mr. Customer, I'm here to address your customer pains. Whatever is keeping you up at night is what we're going to address with this. So if you're in transportation, what do you want to you want to track your trucks, you want to control the drivers, you want to be in compliance with the regulation. If you are a gas station, you want to have your fuel monitoring so you don't the spill of the gas that you have, or the losses that you might be facing can be controlled with this type of product. And of course, when you talk about healthcare, specifically in hospital, the equipment asset control is so important today to reduce the huge loss that they are facing in medical equipment. So I mean, we're not gonna go in deep there, but those are the three more important technologies that you see out there that are helping people, and thanks God that Claro Enterprise Solutions is able to bring that to the plate. And there's one more, that there's JET today, the Global Edge Data Distribution. Some people know it as a eSIM. So that is important because you want to connect different devices as well. And that helps a lot now, especially with the virtual world that we're living, people working from home, working from anywhere. So you need connectivity.
Absolutely. Well, Ariel, thank you so much for that great insight on few of those introduction, the digital technologies that we can leverage moving forward on this new norm, or new normal, as they say, correct? So yes. Thank you so much for your expertise. For our next discussion, we'll take a closer look at examples of some of these digital solutions that you mentioned that channel partners can leverage to grow their portfolios and develop strategic partnerships with their customers. Ariel, thank you so much for all your insight and expertise. We thank also our listeners and viewers, and I'm going to kick this, conclude with a very little musical background. Woo! And looking forward to host you guys on our next.
I love it.
Thank you, Ariel.
That Guantanamera intro that represents my country. Thank you so much, Edu, for having me today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Ariel, and have a fantastic rest of the day to our listeners and viewers. And we'll see you in our next Claro Enterprise Solutions Cafecito Podcast. Take care.
Thank you.